All right, Fat Bass Podcast number, I don't know. We still haven't been, recording or I guess tallying up. We should. We haven't done a ton yet.
I think we can make up a number, 8,422.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a
So,
different number every time.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so Fat Bass Podcast, we got Joe and I. We've got a special guest, Andres Jackson, today. Real quick, want to hit on just really what the Fat Bass Challenge is. We have the reigning winner with us today from March. So, but basically, $25 a month gets you into a side pot for a big bass competition. You're competing against all of the Ozarks for your chance of $500 in that month. So right now it is, well, whenever we're recording this, it is May 30th. So you'd have to have your entry in by May 30th, or if you entered into a previous challenge and you're on auto pay, it's going to keep on going. So we should be good there.
April 30th.
Anyways, what's that?
Yeah, lucky.
We're in April.
Oh, I guess we're
April 30th, but that's okay. Got to be in before May, June. Got all of them.
Yeah, got to be in, and then something that we've been seeing. You just have to fill out one registration, and then that $25 just re-ups you every month. So whenever that's pulled, you'll be re-up for the next month. So I think I've got some phone calls to make. So, but anyways, we're gonna take care of that. Anyways, the man of the hour, really the man of the month, Andres Jackson, Mr. Fat Bass Challenge winner of March. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
Doing good.
Pretty good. We're broke because you cashed the check. You're not supposed to cash it.
Yes. Yeah, it's just supposed to be paper out there that we just
Yeah.
Okay, just take a picture of it, right? That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we pay you in crypto? Can we pay you in crypto $500?
Yeah, but we get to choose the crypto.
Yeah.
Change the crypto.
Be some like Easy Coin or something, or the Hawk Tooth coin still may be out there. Might be able to get that.
Maybe we should start our own coin, the Fat
Ooh,
Bass coin. I think
Fat Bass coin.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I mean, Andres is going to be our first investor.
Yeah. Are you into the digital coin? I know we're going off topic here, but
No, I haven't done anything with digital coin yet. Probably won't, in all honesty.
Good man.
Yeah, well, excited to have you on, man. I know we're here at the end of April, but I know scheduling conflicts and all that kind of stuff. But really want to get to know a little bit more about you as a person, as a fisherman, all that kind of stuff. So we got a few questions for you, but again, it's going to be pretty conversational, and I just see where you're at. But yeah, first question I have for you is how did you get into fishing?
I mean, that's pretty much just like anybody else that was crazy about this, this sport that we do. I started real young, dad taking me just out on the boat, even if I was too young to even cast a rod, and just being out there on the water, and just instead of hooking a fish, it hooked me. It was just the only thing that I wanted to do basically until now, and probably the rest of my life. I don't even remember the first fish I caught because I was probably 2 years old.
Did you start out in like an old boat with a hole in it that you had to crank the motor? Anything cool like that? Yeah.
No, it was an old Bayliner. So we started out. Yeah, it was an old boat
where the sides are like that tall, and
yeah, exactly.
They have a troll motor on it.
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a Bayliner, like a little like fishing ski type of style boat. So, yep. And
Fish just sucked. You just got on the tube behind you and said, "Heck with it."
Exactly. Yep. And then Dad would just go, what felt like 70 miles an hour to throw you off. Especially when you're talking smack that, like you can't throw me. So then you go 10 feet in the air.
When they turn the corner and then you're going faster than the boat, or, when they kind of, I don't know what you call that, but they spin you kind of deal, spin you around the boat.
See, Dad would like to spin around and then kind of like say wave to you as he went by you, as just basically whipped you. You get whiplash from it.
That's funny. Yeah, did he fish any tournaments or?
No, not really. My dad wasn't a big tournament fisherman. They fished the Casting for Kids, the Painters Tournament, every year. Whenever I guess they started that when I don't know, maybe I was like 10 or so. I do remember being out on the dock waiting for them to come back, and stuff like that. But yeah, just him and his buddy. That was pretty much the only tournament that they fished. But me not being able to do it, I was just like, well, come on, I want to try and fish one of these tournaments, get into it. So then, Dupo Marine started a tournament that they put on every fall, and that was one of the first tournaments I ever fished. And I think I was 16, 17 when I cashed my first check. In that one, I think we finished 8th. And yeah, from then on, I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't need a career or anything.
Right.
And unfortunately, that hasn't worked out yet, so I got a job.
Yeah. Yeah. There's probably a very small percentage out there that can do it. Your wheelers and guys like that, but that's probably about it. But yeah, did you get into tournament fishing whenever? I know you came on the Solo Pro there. That's when I filmed you. But were you fishing some before then?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing your little buddy tournaments and stuff like that, but that was the first tournament trail I think that I had actually signed up and started fishing. Whenever I guess I finally felt confident enough that I was good enough to go up against some of those guys. And it worked out well for me. I think I really struggled the first year, fishing, a tournament series and having to be consistent. And I think I barely made the cut for the championship, and then showed out and finished 3rd in the championship in that first one. And then, I had 2 good years after that, finishing in the top 10 for Angler of the Year points. I almost had it. I think that last year, I almost had it, and I choked on the last tournament at Ozarks and ended up finishing like 7th. And I think I was in 2nd at that tournament.
Dang.
Man, that was your first tournament circuit that you ever did?
It was, yep. I dabbled. I think I fished 1 or 2 of the AIA tournaments, but I never fully committed to fishing, the actual full series or anything like that. So yeah, the Solo Pro was the first tournament series I think I actually fished. So
it's really cool. That's really neat. I mean, most of the time, we talk to guys, and it's like, fished for a few years before going solo. Typically on team stuff. So you just hopped right in it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the privilege of filming you and you catching them out of that dock there around Kimberlin, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, my little magic dock. Yeah.
Oh yeah, little magic dock. Yeah. And so you caught that was it about almost a 5? Was it a 492 or something? I think you caught that March bass. Wasn't that bass? Was it Heartland Bass
62.
Master Club? 462.
No, that was the one I had here for April.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the 5-pound evens, which unfortunately I think just this past weekend,
Yeah,
I got beat out by Chris Dickherber. So yeah, now I have a time going again. That was weird.
Okay.
And I saw the red light just dip out.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you're still here, but yeah, we've never had that happen. So
I never seen it stop
we
recording.
Haven't been doing this very long.
Yeah, we're not professionals yet.
Yeah.
All right, so where were we at? I forget.
Oh, the March. Where'd you catch that one at?
Yeah, so the one I won with at March, that one was at Lake of the Ozarks, fishing that painters tournament that my dad used to fish. Say we just had my partner in the back of the boat. He was mainly fishing the bank, and then I was out towards the middle scoping. I know everybody loves to hear that.
Dang it.
Yeah, just on the mooch minnow.
Really?
Yep.
What have you found out with live scoping on Lake of the Ozarks? Like, are you in the middle of a cove and not even worrying about the docks, or are you actually scoping them like in between docks? I've heard both.
I say I'm kind of that middle guy. I'm doing a little bit of everything. So I will always keep the boat, casting distance off the bank, because I am a bank fisherman at heart. But like whenever I am scoping, especially if I have a partner in the back that is just strictly fishing the bank, I will keep that boat casting distance from the bank, and I'll scope straight out to deep water. I'm hardly ever the guy that's out in the middle of nowhere scoping. I'm always scanning underneath docks. I'm finding the brush piles. I'm, throwing my bait over the top of that stuff. If there's a floater out there, which is what that 462 was, he was out in 25 foot of water, but he was sitting in 5.
Just to do nothing, not around anything. Was there shad around there?
Nope,
Really?
there was nothing. Yep. And it was how I caught our limit that day.
Really?
Yeah, we had 1570 for day one, and it was all floaters. And then day two, it was all my guy in the back because I tried to stick with that pattern, and I guess the fish had moved up to the bank, and he caught 3 out of our 5 keepers until I decided to pick up a crankbait and catch our last 2. So
Gotcha. So what have you found with the Forward Faces? So how did you get, like I've tried it and I think it's hard.
it's definitely not the easiest.
No.
It's not as easy as people think when it comes to just casting out a fish and getting it to bite. But the hardest thing about it for me is definitely seeing which fish is knowing which fish is what. I'm pretty sure that's like what everybody does because I did also on day 2 with that. I caught a 15-pound blue cat scoping out in the middle.
That's what I catch. I think that's a bass, and I think I had a crappie rod. And I flipped up there, and it was a, I don't know, 20-pound catfish, just sitting there rolling and rolling.
Yeah.
That's about all I catch. I can't catch the bass on it.
Yeah, that same weekend I think I caught 4 crappie over a pound on that
Yeah.
minnow as well. So yeah, it was a fun weekend for that. But no, with scoping, I'm not your guys that are strictly. I'm just gonna go scope. I'm just gonna go sit out on points. They're out there finding all those roamers everywhere. Like for me, if I find a roamer, it's luck. I'm not even gonna lie. I mainly use the forward face sonar for finding brush piles. That's really about it because I'm a big jig fisherman. So every time I see a brush pile, I would put down the middle, pick up a jig, and throw it into it, and it just wasn't the pattern that day.
Yeah. And you could see them in the brush piles. Like, is that how you're catching them? Like you see a
No, nope. I'm just there's a brush pile. I'm gonna throw my jig into it. So I'm not as efficient as all these other guys with it for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The 5-pounder that I caught on the glide bait, I watched him eat it. I didn't use the live scope. I didn't sink down a glide bait. I didn't do all that fancy stuff. It was throw the glide bait alongside of a dock and work it and watch him just come out and T-bone it. So
really, on the screen, you watched him?
No, like with my eyes. Yeah. It was a lot. I love the glide bait bite just because of that. So,
do you think in this day and age? Well, go ahead, Pierce.
Well, I was gonna. You go ahead, actually.
Do you think you have to have that now to win? Is that where it's come to? Any turn? If you don't have it, if you don't really know how to use it, like
I won't say you have to have it to win, but you definitely have to have it to compete. If you want a chance at winning Angler of the Year, if you want a chance at cashing a check consistently, it's something that you have to have. Whether it's for a winter pattern, a summer pattern, at springtime, fall time, I don't think it's that big of an advantage. I think old school tactics can still win you a tournament. They can still cash you a check those times a year. But when those fish are, especially wintertime when they're out roaming, or summertime and they're out deep in those deeper brush piles, if roaming wise in the wintertime, it's just, you're not going to find those fish if you're not using forward facing sonar. You're just, nobody just casting blindly. You might get lucky and catch one, but you're not going to catch a limit doing that. Summertime, it makes you that much more efficient finding those deeper brush piles and being able to make that exact cast that you need to, first time, instead of, I know there's a brush pile here in fan casting area until you find it. So it's, forward facing sonar has definitely changed the game, and it is definitely something, like I said, you have to have in order to compete. I don't think you need it to win necessarily, but you have to have it to compete for sure consistently.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I have it.
What's that?
So that's consistency is the only reason I have it. If it was something that was banned, I'd be just as happy to go back to old school fishing, they call it. So
yeah. So whenever you're using forward facing sonar, again, we hear it all the time. It's it's a game changer. This and that. I mean, so like you throw in your Mooch minnow. Walk me through your setup with that.
Well, that's just I picked up my drop shot rod, and that's what I've been throwing all of my minnows on. It's just everybody wants the 7-foot 2 spinning reels and stuff like that, which is great for making long casts, but it's real hard to be accurate with, and I don't think you get as much action out of that long of a rod. So for me, having that 610 is what I like. I can make really accurate casts. I can still cast it out to 100 feet, and I don't think you need to do the whole 120-foot cast and stuff like that. Some guys may argue. They may say everybody's using it, fish are getting used to it. You got to make those longer casts. But heck, I'm still catching fish underneath the boat with it, so I'm not.
Well, that's good to know. Because I've started hearing that too. No, you got to cast 800 yards and have a 10-foot rod, and they're getting used to it. And I'm like, dude, I can't see them but 5 foot. So I don't know. I can't definitely can't see them 100 feet. They look like a log.
One thing I've learned with it is that you have to have kind of a little bit of everything. So like Table Rock, for instance, I know that Table Rock's a big forward facing sonar lake. Everybody that goes Table Rock pretty much has it at this point. Let's say if you can find standing timber and the bait, the bass will be there. Everybody wants to go find those big balls of bait that are out there. And yeah, sometimes you'll find the bass underneath it, but there's so much bait in that lake that if, bass don't have to leave the timber. So if you can find that standing timber, even if you're in 60 foot, that timber sitting up in 30 and you have the bait above it in 20, those bass are in that timber. And usually if you go down a line of timber at that, you can just make a cast, let it sink down below that bait, and those bass come flying up, especially the spotted bass. I mean, half the time they're eating it before you even reel up your slack with that bait. So, it makes it sound easy, but also at the same time, you have fish that'll meander on out of that timber, and then you just know they're not going to bite it.
Yeah, I've been curious how some of these guys, man, are whacking 30 pounds. Like, not just one day, but they'll do it Saturday, and then they'll do it Sunday, and then the next weekend they'll do it. I'm like, man, you just chasing a 6-pounder and then you catch him and I know they got their spots, but that's a puzzle. I can only catch, keepers maybe.
I've gotten consistent with it. I know I didn't have a very good tournament with it this past winter. I think it was February for AIA or something, or first weekend of March. But I've gotten consistent enough where I feel comfortable that I can go out there and catch 14 pounds a day or something like that. But finding that kicker largemouth somewhere in that mix is definitely what separates guys for like 90% of the field catching that 14 to 15 pound bag to catching that 17, 18. That'll get you a check. So
yeah, how long have you been sonar?
Man, October of 2022, I think 2023, something one of those.
What would you say the learning curve? I mean, how long did it take you before you felt like you were pretty proficient at it?
I still don't. Yeah, I'm nowhere near where some of these guys are with it, where they can, tell you exactly what's what down there, and they're able to use it to find those bedding fish. I'm still trying to figure that one out, whether I have it in forward mode or scout mode. I still have no idea how those guys are doing it.
Well, fishermen do lie too,
That is true. Yeah. But unfortunately, I'm not lying about that one.
Well, I got a secret for you. This is going to change. This is probably going to get you 20, maybe 30 pounds in the boat. We talked about it on the podcast last weekend. It's called hot salt. I never had it. I guess Pierce brought this up. Hot salt. I mean, baits are salted. I guess you can go get it in Walmart. It's called hot salt. You need to dump it on your bait, on your minnow. Tea.
Yeah.
Hot salt, huh?
Yeah, hot salt. If you've ever seen it, I mean, it's a game changer for sure. It's almost like a seasoned salt, but just spicy.
I mean, it's for humans, but sure, they eat garlic. I still spray garlic on mine.
Yeah, so I use the Strike Force scent stuff. Yeah, Jay Beffa, he made that company, I think last year, 2 years ago, something like that. Okay. Yeah, Strike Force. It's a scent spray. They're just like bait fuel, stuff like that. But it's made here locally in Missouri.
Really?
And it is awesome. I soak my baits in it usually a week or two if I can before a tournament, and then I'll usually soak them. I'll spray them again the night before, and then if I feel like I need to, I'll spray them throughout the day as I'm using them. But that has definitely helped me get more bites with my minnows, with my big swim baits and stuff like that.
Huh? They got a website, just strikeforce.com or?
Strike. I think strikeforce.com. You can also find them on Facebook. They have a Facebook page that's Strikeforce. But yeah, no, it's an awesome scent company. Like I said, I soak my baits in them constantly. I also think Big Bag Outdoors with Mike Hamilton. They soak some of their baits that are already coming packaged with that Strikeforce in it.
Really?
So go forward with it. Yeah.
Do you know the guys that did it or that made it or?
Yeah, so Jay Beffa is the guy that makes it. Yeah, so he's an awesome dude. I mean, he fishes tournaments. I think he does a lot more now on the high school side as the captain and stuff like that. But yeah, no, he makes an awesome product. I mean, it's really hard to beat. He makes them. He'll make a shad one. He makes one called Bass, which is basically just like mainly his garlic. He's got a crawdad one. He's got a crappie scent one. Yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different formulas and scents for different applications.
Okay, we'll have to check that out because I've not heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's sweet. Well, you mentioned you love throwing the jig around. Now, is that like if you were known for one technique, is that what you want to be known for, or what does that look like?
I mean, jig is definitely what I will never not have a jig tied on, no matter what time of year it is, no matter what lake I go to. I have one rod that's specifically made for the jig, and that's what I throw. I mean, it's just there. It never comes untied unless I cut it off to retie it. But I don't really consider myself much of a single technique fisherman. I'm the guy that something new comes out, I'm trying to figure out how to do it before everybody else. I'm very much I like to think that I'm adaptable, and so if I need to, I will go low and slow and drag a jig, drag a drop shot or shaky head or something like that. But I would say probably most of the time I'd rather throw something that's moving. I'm really big into the swim baits, the glide baits, the big 8-inch, 6-inch, dangerous swim baits is probably my favorite one. The mag draft style baits, stuff like that.
Is that the ones got the paddle tail on them?
Yeah.
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 So
and the line through hook.
Yep. I've tried. You just throw them up shallow. Well, I mean, I guess you throw them live scoping or shallow and everything. Huh?
So what I like better about that dangerous swim bait compared to the mag draft is that they can make it into two weights. They make a shallow version and a deep version. And yeah, so if I'm running shallow water like right now with the spawn, the pre-spawn, the spawn, and then the post-spawn and the shad spawn, I'm throwing the shallow version. But come summertime and wintertime, I'm throwing that deep version, 15 to 20 feet deep, and just dragging it over top of brush piles like guys do with A-rigs. But so many A-rigs have been seen, every winter, for the I don't even know how long the A-rig's been out, and it's been forever. Nobody's really throwing those big swim baits over the top of those brush piles. So being able to do something like that,
they got back. They got back on the jerk baits here, because everybody was throwing A-rigs. Man, we were throwing a lot of jerk baits and catching on them. There, when the A-rig came out, if you threw a jerk bait, I think I had dust on my jerk bait. So last time I got them out, I said, "Dang, I didn't know I got that color." I said, "Look at that." And I think me and Keegan, that's all we threw this year was jerk bait, and we caught them. Like, we throw an A-rig, but not as much as we did 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, I don't know. This year was a weird year for the A-rig. I do agree because I couldn't hardly get bit on it. I'd have one good day with it, and then I couldn't do anything with it for like 2 more weeks, and then one maybe half a day good with it, and then it would, like you said, switch into a jerk bait. And it was just a jerk bait, and basically all winter for me. That and the minnow.
Well, let me ask you this. So I've got an opinion on this. If a tournament has forward-facing sonar but doesn't allow the A-rig, you think that's right or wrong?
In all honesty, I think at this point it's just, whatever they decided at any certain point. Like forward-facing sonar, you're gonna either love it or you're gonna hate it. And in all honesty, I probably hate it.
Yeah.
I use it because everybody else does.
See, I think if you have a tournament and you allow forward-facing sonar, you should allow the A-rig. Because remember how the A-rig, there's tournaments out there, when it came out, gotta ban it.
Yeah.
But now they're it's too good, but now you're allowing forward-facing sonar, but not an A rig. I don't know if every tournament does, but some tournaments don't. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any flipping sense. I mean, like I said, you can throw a mag draft and do the same thing.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to, what they're feeling that day, in all honesty. I think that's why rules are changing every year now.
Yeah.
Used to the Bassmasters, you're able to use it, all year long. Now they've done it to where, they flip a coin on which tournaments you can use it, which ones you can't. MLF does it to where you can only use it for one period. The NPFL, they cut it out immediately. So
Yeah, what do you think with that? The MLF, especially bringing it down to like the BFL levels, Toyota Series, like that's in my opinion that'd be pretty tough to navigate or like enforce those rules. But the NPFL just said, hey, no forward facing sonar. What do you like better? Do you like the way the MLF is doing it, the way that Bass is doing it, the way that NPFL is doing it? What's your thought there?
I kind of liked it whenever everyone was kind of doing their own thing. I did. I liked it when the NPFL said no, and then I liked it when MLF was like, okay, we'll use it for one period at a time. And I liked it when Bassmasters had it basically the entire time. You had 3 different views that you could, go through, and whichever one you like to watch, you watch that one. If you were like me and you kind of just wanted to see how it played out and see, how the weights were, how they differed and everything like that. That was kind of where I was at with it, just I didn't really have an opinion on how, the tournament directors and tournament series were handling it. I will say the BFL, I did those last year, and seeing those, I did my best, especially in those early year tournaments, at making sure that I was able to stay within casting distance of the bank. For the co-anglers to be able to, fish and not be out in the middle of the lake and stuff like that. But, I heard all the horror stories from them of, these guys got them out there in the middle of the coves, and, they can't even get halfway to the bank making a cast because they're so far out. And, guys getting mad at them if they're throwing up there, at where they're casting. Basically, if they cast to the left of the boat and the guy in the back of the boat casts to the same spot, guys getting mad at him for it. And I'm just like, well, what else are you going to expect him to do? Just fan cast the back of the boat and hope and pray.
Yeah. But did you get a good co-angler, or did you get one that was?
No, I will say all of my co-anglers were great. You meet new people. Some people you're able to be fluid with and be able to have them back there and be able to fish just right behind you and everything like that, and be able to I don't know kind of how I'm trying to word this, but stay consistent. Everybody, you're still fishing, the way you want to fish and everything like that. I feel like I got pretty lucky with my co-anglers on that one. Yeah, and like I said, I did everything I could to make sure that they were able to fish. I will say I never did worry about if they kept their limit or not. That was not my end of the deal on that one.
Right.
But I always made sure that they had areas to fish and stuff like that. So, and some of them even beat me. I think I had one tournament. Yeah, I think I had one tournament where my co-angler had like 15 pounds in his 3 fish, and I had 10 and 5.
Dang! But just dragging behind you.
Yeah, exactly. And I was doing the same thing. We were both dragging jigs, and I don't know. I guess maybe a little bit slower than I was. I couldn't tell you what he was doing different, but it was definitely a sight.
Yeah. Did you ever have you ever been like co-angler? Did you ever do the BFLs as a co-angler, or just strictly as the pro?
No, strictly in front of the boat for me. I even thought about it whenever I first did the BFLs. I was thinking I should probably just go in as a co-angler and kind of get my feet wet in that setting, and everything. And then I kind of did a little mock trial with it. I had my brother up front running the boat while I was in the back of it, and I was ready to kick him out into the water and just take over the front of the boat. There's no way I could
casting over him and not netting these fish. Like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, no, okay, give me the trolling motor back. I'm gonna do it as a boat.
I did one years ago because I'm so young. I did one at the Central Pro-Am, Heartland Pro-Am back in the days, and I got a pro. And we went down in a cove, and it was a narrow cove. You know, you can cast each side. So he was casting to the right. I cast to the left. He turns around and goes, no, no, no. This is a one bank only. So we're going to go down the right side, and we got to fish that one. And then I'll swing around and we'll fish that side. I'm like, okay, I got one of them guys, you know, and you can cast and hit both banks. And I'm like, sure.
No,
I
but
think,
go
I
ahead.
think it's very interesting when you go into the boater versus co-angler. Again, everybody has those horror stories of, you know, this and that. I was a co-angler a few times and I never had a problem, but I can see where just knowing bass fishermen, I can see where ego gets in the way and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, it's a BFL. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, speaking of having fun, I had one. I think it was the regionals at Grand, and my entire front graph of the whole mount like broke. It snapped off.
Oh,
Yeah, so I had to take my graphs and put them in the locker in the back of the boat and everything. So I had no graphs up front, and we pulled in this pocket and everything. And my co-owner was like, "How deep is it?" I said, "I have no idea."
20,
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, that's right, I forgot." Whoops. And I was like, "I'll let you know when I hit mud."
it just hit a wave, big wave, and it just popped off. Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole mount just snapped off. Right, like the screws that held the mount to the fiberglass just snapped in half. So I was lucky. I was lucky it didn't go in the water. It came
Yeah.
right down the middle of the boat. So right on
Was
the deck.
was that your live scope and everything?
Yeah, yep. That was my
Yeah.
my big screen and my little screen that was up there.
They need to
So-
make like a safety cord on it, you know, so if it does, it just like grabs
But
it.
no, yeah. Well, now I got the new the Beatdown outdoors system.
Oh, there you go.
They tell you to JB weld it to that fiberglass. So yeah, so that's exactly what I did. So it won't come out. So
Are
should be
you
good.
trying to get any sponsors? Or are you on that road of the social media, you know, filming you every day, even when you're going to the bathroom, taking a shower? That's what you got to do now. You got to do all that. You got to get crazy.
It definitely seems like it. No, I haven't gotten that big into it. I dabbled in it at first, and then I kind of got away from it. I think I did like 2 years where I think if you look at my social media, I didn't hardly post anything but like maybe a happy birthday to somebody or something like that. And then I think this is the first year that I've actually started really getting back into my, social media and posting stuff and sharing stuff and everything. I meant to record my April practice and tournament, and the GoPro sat at home. So I completely forgot it. So I'm still not the best at it. Not consistent.
Everybody's starting to use those 360 ones, like Chris and Greg, and I think Mike does them now.
Yeah, those are nice. I mean, if you can record everything around you, like that's pretty much the way to go instead of having it back there at the light pole,
right.
And plugged in there. So
yeah,
you can have it right there on the dash on your console, and
it records everything. You got to get a little drama, like breaking light poles, breaking rods. You got to get a little drama going there, Andres.
Yeah, get you a Snoopy pole and just Iconelli out on it and just snap it right in half. And,
man,
it'd be great. Man.
Sponsors will be just calling you left and right.
Yeah, however many likes you can get, that's what matters.
That's it. Hey, we do want to invite you to a tournament. So me and Pierce came up with this. It's what's it called? Hook and switch. So you got to have a partner. When you hook the bass, you can't reel it. You got to give it to your partner. And then but
you got to hold the rod and your partner.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got to hold the rod and he's got to reel it. Yep.
Oh man,
that's called hook.
On that.
So that's a little too many rules for me to follow, unfortunately.
You hook it with one hand and you just hold it. Look at that.
Yeah, that's where I'd forget though. I'd set the hook and I'd just start reeling like, come on.
You lose points.
I'd be DQ'd in the first 2 minutes.
Yep, don't count. And then one of you's got to net it while both of you are holding the rod. I think that'll go good. I think we get a lot of entries on that one. I don't know how we police it.
Yeah, that would be the problem. But like I said, I'd be DQ'd real quick. So.
Or maybe like tether each other together or something. Like you can only stand like 6 inches apart.
Hoodies.
Yeah, like women do with their kids, have them on a leash when they're walking around the grocery store.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's nuts.
that's all I had. It's about 38 minutes. So what'd you spend your money on?
I think I spent it on the entry fees for AIA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
I
do
think
it.
I think it paid for my next trip. I think I paid the $300 entry fee with it, and for the room for that weekend.
Nice. All
That's
right.
what we call reinvesting your earnings. I love it.
That's
Exactly.
it. ROI on your return. Now you'll probably win the AIA. You know.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
we'll see. I gotta find another tournament for June. I don't think I have one set up yet, so I'm gonna have to find one for that and catch a big one on that one.
Yep.
I still have the one set up for May. We'll see how that one goes. But
Yeah. Oh, is that you got one this weekend?
I was supposed to. Like I said, I'm not even sure if it's going to be a thing. It was a club tournament,
Gotcha.
but I don't think we were going to have enough guys. I think family stuff or work stuff, and I don't think we're going to have enough guys. So we're probably going to have to reschedule it for middle to later. Probably, I think they're talking probably the weekend before Memorial Weekend.
Gotcha. Is that what lake's that on? Lake of the Ozarks?
I'm not quite sure. I think we were supposed to go to Kincaid in Illinois, which was a 3-fish limit. Yeah, we hop all over the place. Like we were at Ozarks in April or they went to Clearwater in March. I think they have one set up for Table Rock, Mark Twain. I think there's I'm trying to think of Wapapello. We try to go to many as we can in a year. I think state this year is at Ozarks for the Bass Nation.
Is Kincaid is that like a lake like you're not gonna catch 8-pounders every cast? Is it similar to Ozark, Stockton? Like we're trying to add lakes that are similar fish size.
So it's a big grass lake, and yeah, it's you can go out there and I think I've seen one 10-pounder caught out of that lake.
Okay.
But other than that, you catch a lot of 5, 6, and 7s. Like I think my two PBs, I caught them in the same year. One in the spring and one in the summer. That were both 7.5. That was a couple years ago. But last year I fished a tournament at Kincaid, and it's weird. So it's a 3-fish limit if you fish it by yourself. Yeah, because Illinois that lake is only 3-fish limit for bass. So if you fish a team tournament there, it's a 6-fish limit in those tournaments. But it was a solo kind of tournament deal, so it was only a 3-fish limit in that tournament. And I had 15 pounds for 3 fish.
Dang.
Yeah, and it was all on the big swim bait. So
That's
like I said,
right.
I'm a big swim bait fisherman, and I love throwing those big glide baits and big paddle tail swim baits. So
Find out how far that's from you. You live up in St. Louis area? Is that what?
I'm just south of St. Louis. So for me, and it's a southern Illinois lake. It actually holds the state record crappie out of that lake with like almost 5 pounds. I think it was like 488 for that big crappie. Yeah, it was a giant. But yeah, it's southern Illinois lake, and it's about an hour and 45-minute drive for me. Unfortunately, where I live, it is every lake that I go to is a drive. Being here just south of St. Louis, I'm technically the same distance to everything. Like Lake of the Ozarks is 3.5 hours for me. Table Rock's 4.5 hours for me.
Yeah.
I'd say Palmy is 3 hours for me. Kincaid's an hour and a half. Kentucky Lake is 3.5 hours for me. So yeah, like Pickwick, I think was 4.5 hours for me, maybe 5.
Well, you got Mark Twain there.
I think that's 2.5 hours north for me.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'll stop complaining about any drives I have then.
Gas prices with the way they are right now.
Yeah, that's the worst part at the moment. But no, for me, yeah, if I go fishing, it's not one of them. I'm just gonna go for an afternoon type of trip. It's either an all day or an all weekend type of deal for me.
Right.
So, love it. I mean, you got the passion for it, so that's the driving factor.
Oh yeah. All my buddies hate me when they're like, hey, let's go fishing. I'm like, deal, where you want to go? And they're like, oh, I don't know, let's go to Ozarks. I'm like, okay, come to my house at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, 3
Never mind.
Yeah. And then I usually just end up going anyways. I can't tell you how many day trips when I first got forward facing sonar I was making to Table Rock and I was leaving at 2 a.m. and fishing until 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, evening, and driving back home and not getting home till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Man, what were you, about 10 years younger at that point?
No, I wish I was just doing that last winter.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
That's
and in all honesty, I think it's just a winter thing for me because working construction, it gets slow in the winter time, so I got all this time on my hands. So that's what I do. I just make those long drives to different lakes and go fishing. So
Yeah, that's cool. Well, when you get really good at it, let me know so I can jump in your boat. I mean, but you got to be really good at it so you can just teach me how to even look at the screen and what fish is what.
yeah, well, when I figure out what fish is what, I'll let you know. I mean, like I said, I pretty much just see a blimp and throw at it. I'm one of those
That's
guys.
what I do. Yep, that's what I do.
Love it. Well, yeah, man. Again, I appreciate you. Yeah, appreciate you hopping on here, and excited to see what you're doing for the rest of the year. We'll definitely have you back on. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to add before we head?
No, not that I can think of. Good luck to anybody watching this. Go catch a big one. Like I've posted it, I think just the other day, and I think I posted it before. This is a great, opportunity, great thing that you guys are doing, and I love it. Being the first one to win it for one, and two, it's just awesome. If you're having a bad tournament and it's noon and all of a sudden you do catch a 5-6 pounder, and it's like, well, I may not have done anything for this tournament, but I can at least submit it for the Fat Bass Challenge and hopefully win, $500, win my entry fee back, stuff like that. So, gas, room, stuff like, just winning an extra $500 doesn't hurt anybody. So,
No,
That's right.
we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Anders, have a great rest of your day, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
all right, see you guys.
All right.
See ya.